Have you ever looked at someone you once loved so deeply and wondered, when did this distance grow between us? For many women in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, the person they once built a life with begins to feel like a stranger, not because love disappears, but because time reveals what routine often hides. This is the story of Anna. Anna is 63 years old. She has been married to John for over 40 years. Like many love stories, theirs began with laughter, promise, and devotion. Together, they raised a family, built a home, and faced the storms of life as one. But now, something inside Anna feels broken. A quiet resentment has taken root. She finds herself irritated by the smallest things John does. Sometimes, just the sound of his footsteps feels overwhelming. She never imagined she would feel this way. Not after 4 decades of marriage. But here she is, lying awake at night, questioning everything. Why does this happen to so many women? For Anna, and for countless others, it began with a lifetime of carrying too much and receiving too little in return. In their younger years, Anna managed the household while John worked. She cooked, cleaned, handled the finances, and eventually, became the caregiver for their grandchildren, while John retreated into comfort, lounging on the couch, browsing his phone. Anna gave her energy to everyone else. He never offered to help. When she voiced her exhaustion, John would scoff, saying she brought this upon herself. Her kindness was dismissed as overcommitment, her sacrifice, invisible, and so, something inside her began to wither. It wasn't just the chores. John smoked heavily for years, ignoring Anna's pleas to quit. Even after being hospitalized with chronic lung disease, he made empty promises, continuing to light up in secret. His breath turned sour, his hygiene slipped, he snored through the night, leaving Anna to sleep in the living room. Still, he complained, demanded attention, and never once asked how she was holding up. Over time, Anna's exhaustion turned into something deeper, grief. Not for a person who had passed, but for the marriage she thought she had, for the love she gave that went unnoticed, for the version of herself that felt like she was slowly disappearing. And yet, Anna stayed. Why? Not because she lacked courage, but because leaving, at her age, came with 1,000 complications. The fear of judgment, the concern for her adult children, the social expectations, the unknown. But here's the truth no one says out loud. Resentment doesn't bloom from hatred. It grows from neglect. When women give, and give, without being seen, heard, or supported, they begin to feel like ghosts in their own homes. And that's not weakness, that's heartbreak. Why do older women grow tired of their husbands? Unequal emotional labor. Many women in long-term marriages carried the emotional and logistical weight of the household for decades. They were the calendar keepers, the caretakers, the peacemakers, and when their spouses failed to step in, even after retirement, that burden became unbearable. Unshared responsibilities in aging. As men age, many retreat further into habits of comfort. But for women, aging often means more work, caregiving, health challenges, and supporting extended family. When that effort is one-sided, it breeds resentment, lack of intimacy and appreciation. Small acts of love disappear. Conversations dwindle, the spark fades, and instead of finding new ways to connect, some husbands grow indifferent. It's not the wrinkles that make women feel unloved, it's being treated as invisible. Self-rediscovery. After a lifetime of serving others, many women in their 60s finally begin to ask, what about me? They want rest, peace, meaning, and when their husbands don't support this new chapter of growth, it feels like betrayal. What can be done? Not every story ends with separation. Sometimes, healing is possible, but it requires honesty, communication, and a willingness to grow. Anna, like many women, could not endure the silence anymore. One evening, she sat across from John and said, "Do you even see me anymore?" It was the first of many difficult conversations. To John's surprise, Anna wasn't blaming him, she was grieving, and when he finally stopped defending himself and truly listened, something shifted. He began to see how his inaction spoke louder than any insult. They sought help. They began taking walks together. John joined Anna at her painting class. Slowly, they rebuilt something new, not a return to the past, but a recognition of the present. Communication is the first step. Respect is the next. Shared curiosity for each other's dreams and struggles? That's how love evolves. Is divorce the answer? For some, yes. For others, no. The decision isn't about breaking a vow, it's about honoring the self. If the relationship is emotionally abusive, dismissive, or dangerous, then walking away might be the most loving thing one can do. But sometimes, it's not about leaving the marriage. It's about leaving the patterns that made you feel small. Even if you stay, you can set boundaries, reclaim space for joy, prioritize your health and self-worth. To every woman reading this, you are not alone. You deserve rest, you deserve respect, you deserve a partner, not a dependent. And if your marriage no longer brings you peace, know that it's okay to want something more. Whether you find that in deeper connection, a redefined partnership, or a new path altogether, this season of life can still bloom. Love doesn't fade, it transforms. Sometimes, it grows stronger when nourished. Sometimes, it softens into companionship. And sometimes, it whispers, it's time to love yourself the way you loved everyone else. Your story isn't over. It's just beginning again, with you at the center.